अगर आप पाकिस्तान की बात करते हैं ना तो इट इज़ अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग जर्नी। अगर मैं इसको आपको 20 इयर्स बैक ले जाऊँ जब मैंने करियर स्टार्ट किया था तो मतलब नो वन नोज अबाउट सिक्योरिटी, मतलब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर या आईटी पे चीज़ें इनबिल्ड हो रही थी। तो सिक्योरिटी की बात करना जस्ट लाइक यार तुम किताबी बातें कर, जहाँ पे चेंज होता है साइबर सिक्योरिटी का अरीना। इट वाज 2015 बांग्लादेश का जो स्विफ्ट का साइबर अटैक था, दैट रियली शेकन अप द फाइनेंशियल इंडस्ट्री ओवर इन पाकिस्तान। यहाँ पे मैं डेफिनेटली एक कहूँगा कि स्टेट बैंक जो कि रेगुलेटर फाइनेंशियल इंडस्ट्री का, उसने टेकअप किया फाइनेंशियल इंडस्ट्री में साइबर सिक्योरिटी को, मतलब रियलाइज करवाया कि इट्स अ फैक्ट, इट्स एन इम्पॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट, इट नीड्स टू बी सिक्योर्ड, डेटा नीड्स टू बी सिक्योर्ड, प्रॉपर रिसोर्सेज होने चाहिए अक्रॉस द बैंक। देन उसके बाद 2017 में फ्रेमवर्क आता है स्टेट बैंक का, which gives you another empowerment to the IS guys। यार IS को अलग कर दिया गया फ्रॉम IT और प्रॉपर CISOs को ऑन बोर्ड करना शुरू किया बैंक्स ने, कीपिंग द सेवेरिटी एंड इम्पैक्ट ऑफ द हैक। फिर उसके बाद 2018 में एक हमारे पीयर बैंक में साइबर अटैक होता है, तो वहाँ से रियलाइजेशन बढ़ती चली गई और रिस्पेक्ट भी आना शुरू हो गई विद साइबर सिक्योरिटी। और IT शॉप्स ने भी उनको भी रियलाइज हो गया कि नहीं यार, अब सिक्योरिटी को हमें उस तरह से रिस्पेक्ट देनी है, नॉट दे आर नॉट अ फंक्शन के वो हर चीज़ को रोकेगा, हर चीज़ को नहीं चलने देगा, बट दे आर रादर अ पार्टनर इन अ प्रोग्रेशन ऑफ एनी इंस्टीट्यूशन। तो आई थिंक 2 decades की जर्नी है, इट्स अ रोलर कोस्टर राइड।
Cybersecurity has evolved along with the technology which we want to protect, or the way information has processed. Back in 2008, there was no concept of, for example, darknet, that you could find your organization's information on darknet. Ransomware was relatively very new, and you could not find any reference to AI in technology, more so in use in cybersecurity. So the use of AI, the use of social media, the use of social engineering to lure your customers to yield their information, it has changed, it has evolved with the passage of time. And the more we find ways to serve our customers through technology more conveniently, the more it opens more avenues for cybersecurity criminals or scammers to make them yield their information or lose their money or credentials or identity.
So the cyber landscape actually changed because of the advancement of technology. When I started this security career, the entire thing was offline, so to speak, within the bounds and domain of the organization. But with the introduction of digital, with the introduction of internet working, everything becomes very local. So like I mentioned about the threat landscape before, the initial threat landscape was limited to the bank and very few things like the website which was exposed, and there were attacks happening on that. So our protection layer was just that website. But now our entire data set, our entire data centers are now exposed to the external world through one or the other applications or the APIs or the services that we expose. So that is the horizon of our cyber threat landscape right now.
Okay, that's a very interesting question. So back in the day, I told you about the government websites getting hacked. If I recall correctly, the intention of the hacker back then was to get to be known as a big guy. I'm the one who can hack the biggest websites. And that trend, that change over time, it moved towards financial gain. And now that trend has totally changed, especially when cyber terrorism is backed by state agencies. So with that, the intent is totally different. Nowadays, if I know of any hacker, or if I were a hacker, I would be looking forward to having at least 10,000, 100,000 nodes under my command. Compared to even a decade ago, I'm sure that everybody must be facing the same thing. A decade ago, we would continuously be having computer viruses on the laptops or the computers, and everybody would be finding the best antivirus solution. Nowadays, in my day-to-day job, I hardly hear of antivirus triggering any specific alarms. Why is that? Because the hacker's nature has changed. he wants to stay on your machines undetected. So this is how the entire landscape has now totally changed. And what they want to do is they want to obtain the information from you, because information is most important.
That is a very good question, because I started my career in information security way back around 17 to 16 years way back. And at that time, information security was in an infant stage in Pakistan. And the Pakistan industries, especially the banking industry, wasn't ready to recognize the head of information security or the chief of information security officer with at par of other heads that were in the organization, like head of information technology. But over the past few years, the State Bank, being the regulator of banking industry, has recognized the importance, and other regulators as well has recognized the importance, plus the reliance of organizations on the digital data and the increasing number of cyber threats and the cyber attacks has all played their role in building the importance of Chief Information Security Officer in the organization. And now we are at the stage where people, in fact the senior management, listen to the CISO and act upon it, whatever advice or the recommendation CISO gives them.
I believe the cybersecurity landscape has tremendously changed. Historically, the cyber threat actors, they never had this sort of access to easily available tools. The challenge of the CISO has been growing at the similar pace, if not less. When you say what's changed, yes, now even the attackers have and the threat actors have more capabilities on top of the traditional tools with AI and ML, and I think that is somewhere things need to be, to identified, assessed, and a good response should be prepared by a CISO or the market.
When we started, internet was like through dial-up, and now internet is through 4G, and you're talking about 5G, 6G. So data is traveling a lot, and like one said, today's gold is data. So and organizations definitely, they rely on us to better protect that gold. So from that era where ASP 3.0 was there, now we have a lot of frameworks around ASP. ASP.NET Core is there. So cloud wasn't there at that time. Cloud is now these days a lot. People are moving towards cloud, and so things have changed a lot. At that time, getting into network was not a big was a very big deal, right? We were not connected. Internet banking, mobile banking was not there. Apps was not there. Now, just to we have to have those applications, apps, internet banking, and all that platforms for our environment. So definitely challenges have increased, but that has been substantiated by the tools that are available at our time. At that time, cybersecurity tools were not there. Those tools that are we talk about, like XDR, like you can say SOAR, these are not there. Even SIEM was not talked about much then. So if we have challenges increase, we have definitely tools to handle them.
Someone who has personally also been a hacker myself, like when I say hacker, maybe people take it as a very negative term, right? So hacker isn't, I like to clear this, taking this opportunity, hacker isn't a bad person. Hacker is a person who actually, doesn't create an issue. He only exploits the issue that's already there, right? So being a person of that interest as well, I've seen that pehle things were very easy. Like people weren't very aware of these things. The awareness आज के दौर में बहुत बेहतर है. People are aware. People have taken interest into these things. So landscape जो है वो hacker के लिए challenging जरूर हुआ है, but in addition to challenging, he is more motivated for it. सो लैंडस्केप जो है, अब आप इन टर्म्स ऑफ आज की तारीख में पहले अटैक्स का रेशो उस लिहाज से सीवियर या उस लिहाज से वो इंटरेस्ट नहीं होता था। आज क्योंकि डिपेंडेंसी हर एक की इसके ऊपर हो गई है, टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर हो गई है, सो सारी कंट्रोल्स भी वहाँ लगे हुए, तो सारी मोटिवेशन भी वहाँ आ गई है। अब पहले ब्रेकिंग राइट्स आ गए, यार वो किसी का ईमेल हैक कर दे, यार मैंने देखो ये कर लिया। अब एक्चुअली योर मनी इज़ ओवर देयर। सो मनी जो वो स्पेशली फॉर दोज कंट्री जो कि सैडली 1970 से रोटी कपड़ा मकान के पीछे चल रही है, आज भी उसी के पीछे हम भाग रहे होते हैं। तो जो वो उस रोटी कपड़ा मकान के पीछे जब भाग रही होती है, उसको नज़र आता है कि हाँ यार देयर अ शॉर्टकट होना। अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम कंट्री एज अ कॉम हम शॉर्टकट्स के ज़्यादा प्रेफर करते हैं, उसको शॉर्टकट वहाँ नज़र आता है तो वो ज़्यादा वहाँ पर फोकस कर रहा होता है। सो लैंडस्केप इज़, आई वुड कंसिडर के आज जो है वी शुड बी कंसिडरिंग आवर सेल्फ कि वी आर इफ नॉट इन द रेड जोन एटलीस्ट ऑन द एम्बर जोन, वी शुड बी मोर विजिलेंट।
I think the security landscape has been completely changed. It's even 10 years ago, from 10 years, the new security landscape is completely different in a way. Now we are in the cloud era. We are, the on-prem era is long gone. So the CISOs, there are a lot of responsibilities which are now not my headaches, which are the system level security, the kind of application level security. My headaches are now primarily data level securities, endpoint securities, and mostly on the process layer. Availability, data loss, and all those things are actually been offloaded to the cloud providers. 10 years ago, CISO was much more involved in operations rather now. Now a CISO is much more involved in making policies, strategies, and focusing on a couple of few things and making sure that those things are secured, primarily the data layer.
Good old days were very simple and easygoing. There were closed networks and simple malwares. Now the attack vector has changed. Now we have cloud-based threats, mobile application-based threats. We have Internet of Things, advanced persistence attack, state-sponsored cyber attacks. So it has become very complex.